It's the Opperman Report. Join digital forensic investigator and PI Ed Opperman for an in-depth discussion of conspiracy theories, strategy of New World Order resistance, high-profile court cases in the news, and interviews with expert guests and authors on these topics and more. It's the Opperman Report. And now, here is investigator Ed Opperman.
Okay, welcome to the Opperman Report. I'm your host, Private Investigator Ed Opperman, and this show is brought to you through the loving support of our sponsors like CartKing.com, Cart-King.com, 877-986-7771. If you've ever thought about going into the mobile cart or kiosk business, like you want to open up a little business inside the in a shopping mall or an airport, a hospital, any kind of entrance to a big lobby of a big building or warehouse, sell coffee, snacks, souvenirs, things like that. Cart-King.com has been building and designing these carts and kiosks for over 20 years for any application, indoors, outdoors, highly secured, refrigerated, and cooking capabilities. So whatever kind of business you want to go into, go to Cart-King.com. Even if you're thinking about buying a storefront, and renting a storefront or a warehouse or something, consider this option. Okay, go to Cart-King.com before you pay that rent. I remember the rent in the Staten Island Mall for a storefront was like $15,000 a month. Plus, they made you build it out. You had to use their contractors, their construction workers, to build out that storefront. $30,000, $40,000 going into the pocket of one of their buddies. But if you just bought a little cart or a kiosk, your rent was so much cheaper. I think toward the end there, I was paying about $7,000 a month for my kiosks in the Staten Island Mall. But still, that's nothing compared to $10,000, $15,000, $25,000 a month you'd pay for a big giant storefront. So go to Cart-King.com, 877-986-7771. They'll custom design it for you, custom build it for you, ship it worldwide. Tell them Ed Opperman sends you, get a good deal. Emailrevealer.com. You can go to emailrevealer.com. You get a copy of my book, an autographed copy of my book. I'll autograph it for you. How to become a successful private investigator. Also, different kinds of investigations we do through emailrevealer.com is email tracing. You can locate and identify somebody from an email address. Infidelity investigations, asset searches, adoption investigations, emailrevealer.com. Almightygold.com. Gold. Get your gold in affordable quantities. You can invest in gold for as little as a tenth of a gram. You can start investing in gold today for $6, $10, $15. You don't have to buy a whole ounce of gold. You can buy these little carrot bars that they have there, embedded into these plastic credit card sized cards. They have a cryptocurrency that's backed by gold, and you can become an affiliate, earn money selling gold. You put a little affiliate link on your website there, your Twitter account, and every time somebody clicks on it, purchases some gold from almightygold.com, you get a commission for doing nothing. What's the last one? PureSoapFlakes.com. Check them out. Available in Whole Foods, PureSoapFlake.com, Amazon.com, GreenHome.com. You can bathe your body and wash your clothes in Pure Soap Flake products. Where is it? That are free of fragrance, GMOs, palm oil, sodium lauryl sulfate, and synthetic additives. PureSoapFlake.com. Tell them Ed Opperman sent you. Get a good package of soap there. Let's see, what's their number? 218-568-2525. You can also get this at Whole Foods. You go to Whole Foods and say, hey, where are your Pure Soap Flake products? I want them right now. Go get them. Bring them to me. Thank you. Okay, our first guest today is Johnny Vedmore. Okay, we had him on before. Excellent researcher, musician. You can check out his website, johnnyvedmore.com, and also Vocal Media. Johnny Vedmore was on here a few years back. It's been quite some time, talking about Theresa May. He uncovered all this fascinating stuff about Theresa May and her family, and even a connection, I think, to a serial killer and a priest and all that. Incredible stuff. So go back and check the Spreaker archives for the Johnny Vedmore Theresa May show. But we have him back today. We're going to be talking about the Trump dossier, Scrippo. We're going to be talking about Epstein. He's uncovered new information about another intelligence operative around Epstein. All pretty much new stuff. So Johnny Vedmore, are you there?
I am here. Hello. How's it going, Ed?
Good, man. Thanks. It's really good to hear from you. I wish we'd stayed in contact a little bit more.
Thanks. I agree.
I enjoy your stuff. Okay, so who is Johnny Vedmore?
Ooh. I don't know. Does anybody actually know who they are? I'd say I'm an investigator, journalist. I'm interested in the truth. I do music. My music is all about the truth. I'm anti-establishment, very anti-establishment, but in a way that I'd like to see reform rather than complete anarchy. I'd like to see something, some actual change in the world. I care about things. I care about things, Ed. I care about people. I care about people being ripped off. Rich people usually ripping people off, because it tends to be a struggle from rich versus the poor. It's always been the same. So I'm out there just trying to get information research information. If I see anything interesting, get it out there and tell the people.
Johnny, I detect a slight accent. Are you from Brooklyn, New York?
No. I'm from Wales, South Wales, which is very different from the rest of Wales. Wales is all a very it's a very diverse country in itself, ethnicity-wise. There's lots of different tribes that make up Wales, and it's just to the west of England. We're part of the United Kingdom, but England still have colonial rule over us at the moment.
We have a very popular organization here called Save the Whales. I'm not sure if it's associated, but Johnny, yeah,
No, we do need to save the whales. We
and your latest song that came out is "Wanna Die." It's called, right?
Wanna Die part. Officially, it's called Wanna Die Part 1, and it's part of the Wanna Die single, which I couldn't help but to call something Wanna Die single. I thought that was nice. But yeah, it's rock, it's alternative, it's all completely and utterly written, recorded, every instrument produced, mixed, mastered by myself. Released independently through Ditto Music, and I there's ways to find it free out there if you want to actually own it. But other than that, you can go listen to Spotify, iTunes, and all those corporate bastards.
Watch your language. That's right.
Sorry about my language there. Sorry.
I just remembered you're a one-man band. I remember you telling me that last time. You play every instrument, all the vocals. You do everything yourself. Okay, what do you want to start with first? You want to remind the audience about your work on Theresa May?
Well, that was really like it was. I would say my second main article that I wrote, because I didn't know. When I was a kid, I always wanted to be a private investigator. You know, everybody wants to be a private investigator or something along those lines. And I really did want to be a private investigator. But all my ideas about private investigating was just like following people around and seeing what they do. And it wasn't possible in the world pre-internet. And slowly I realized I've got a place in this post-internet world with researching. So I loved going deep into people's sort of past, and now there's enough information out there online, including dead articles that are hidden, articles that are deleted, things that people want to hide. There's so much information online now. It's almost easy to be a researcher as long as you put in the time and effort. So my interest with Theresa May's father, who was Hubert Brazier, come from being, like I say, a second article that was like that, where the first article I wrote was about a BBC journalist called Laura Koonsberg, who was very biased, and I did a lot of research into her family history, and I kind of got hooked onto that idea of family history. See what people were like down the family lines, see what kind of relationship mothers and fathers, daughters and sons and etc. have, and where the similarities are. I've even gone much further eventually with that idea. With Theresa May, it was particularly researching her life, trying to find out a bit about her, who was incredibly he seemed like very low-key. He went to this special, like a brotherhood to learn before he went out and started wanting life change. He in hospital as a head chaplain, and it was at the time that John Bodkin Adams, who was a serial killer, a favourite serial killer in Britain, who was a GP, was working at Eastbourne Hospital. And so researching the family history of Theresa May, I just wanted to find out about her father, and how he was as a priest and how he raised her up. But instead I found this whole world where he had been working with a serial killer for plenty of years. Then afterwards He had like lots of estimates, almost was awarded for his service during that time. And I'm not saying that the government were rewarding him for working with a serial killer, but I believe they probably did help them find out what went on John Bodkin Adams.
Fascinating story. People got to go back and check that out. I forget what the title of it is, but it's in the Opperman Report archives. You just Google Opperman Report. Go ahead.
No, go for it. I mean, I would prefer people go through your channel. You are here listening to me.
No, it's the same thing. No, you're right. If it's on your website, people can go there, JohnnyVedmore.com.
I was going to say, if you go to Google and put in Theresa May's father, my article will be the first thing to come up.
There you go. But otherwise, it's pretty much scrubbed from Wikipedia and all that stuff, right?
It is information, certain things about him, and this started happening directly after she became prime minister. So as soon as she became prime minister, her profile started being actively changed. Things about her negative information being deleted, which is the same, is relevant to the Epstein associate that I'm here to talk about today as well. The same sort of things happening with that is that her detail would find on the next years ago are not there today.
Okay, that's just we're talking about the IDF agent.
Yeah. Well, I'm saying linked to IDF because she is heavily linked to the IDF. But yes, I believe myself that she's probably Mossad.
You know, before we even get into that, fascinating. Trump just visited Buckingham Palace, right?
Yeah.
And over there, he just met with Prince Andrew York, who he knew, by the way. I was reporting exclusively here in the United States about a photograph at Mar-a-Lago of Trump, Andrew York, Prince Andrew, at Mar-a-Lago during a tennis tournament. Now, we found this. It came through Pierce Redmond, and one of his sources found this through a LexisNexis type search, where we found the caption underneath the article, but we could never find the picture. We found the caption for the picture, but we could never find the picture. Picture wasn't available on Google. Nobody could find it. Finally, someone got a hold. They ordered the newspaper, and we got it. That's another picture that's been scrubbed off the internet because the only people that have it now is us.
It's quite a surprise that what is still available.
Yeah.
But you have to really, really go. There's a way with the Wayback Machine and etc. When you can go back in time to a previous website, you'll find loads of photos are missing. But it doesn't mean that they're missing. It just means that they weren't on that search or that they weren't there that moment in time. But they can be linked through. Oh, it's so complicated, but there is ways to find all of the images that have been deleted from the internet. There's
it's
a
really
way
not
to
that
find
complicated.
all of the information.
Yeah, when you search Google Images, they can remove it from there. But even if the website's been removed, it's archived on places like you said, the Wayback Machine.
I've been promising myself that I would do a series of videos, and I started it off with just like one little tiny tutorial on looking into Wikipedia history and how things have changed and what things get removed from Wikipedia history. But I really have been promising to do some video tutorials on how to do these things because it's so complicated to explain to someone, but they're actually really simple to carry out if you know how to do it. We need researchers, we need people. Everybody who listens to this now, if everybody went and spent an hour researching something about someone is going to find something new.
Yeah, they're doing that kind of stuff on 4chan and 8chan and stuff like that, Reddit. But I'm concerned about a lot of that too. These guys, they seem to want to one-up each other, and they jump to wild conclusions, and they go off on these. I think a lot of the stuff you see out there is disinfo. But the thing is, you and me right now, we're talking a little bit too much inside baseball. I think we get along too well. Let's get to these stories here. The Epstein associate, nobody's talking about. The IDF-Linked, Bond girl infiltrating the UK NHS. What's going on there?
Wow, it was so hard to find a title for that piece because there's so much involved in it. I mean, I thought about it for ages and ages, and in the end I had to just keep it simple. I considered putting the lady's name. The lady name is Nicole Junkermann. Yes, Junkermann with two N's at the end. She's German born in Dusseldorf, resident of the UK, but for tax purposes she's resident of Monte Carlo, Monaco, of course, because no one who's registered in the UK and is that rich is actually paying tax in the UK. she's extremely wealthy. She's extremely interesting. She's been linked to nearly every single corruption case that has come out in the past, like 10 years, that have been reported on every news channel, yet no one knows her name. And